Here we are, the beginning of March. Almost all the snow is gone. It's beautiful out here. Let's see. Got a bunch of young white pine. Got some young spruce there. I'll have to remember this spot. Spruce over there. Spruce over there. I can come in here and harvest some of the spruce root later in the season. White pine, young needles make great white pine tea. One of the really nice things I like about a birch tree, it's very useful. You can harvest the bark, pull it off like that. You don't strip it all the way down. See how the stuff is coming off naturally? This is almost like shedding. And you take that, extremely flammable, great for starting fires. And if you find a birch tree that is newly dead, fallen, you can harvest the bark and you can make containers out of it, all kinds of other good stuff. Birch tree, one of the most useful trees in the woods. You can see how that bark is just hanging there. That kind of stuff you can easily harvest and you won't damage the tree at all. Well, I decided to come for a walk out in the woods since the weather was nice. Found this down birch tree. And one of the great things that you'll find on birch trees is a fungus called chaga. Looks like a almost like the wood had been burned. You can see some down in there. And underneath, when you peel it back, looks like that. It's a fungus, good for making tea. Now I'm going to remember this spot next time I come out here. I'll look again because I see a lot of young spots where it's growing, so I can harvest it over the next couple of years. Another birch with what looks like some more chaga fungus growing on it. Well, looks like the deer herd is good size. And around here in the woods. Maybe next season I'll find one. Well, I hope you can make it out. This is a sign of a deer kill. All that fur. If I had the time, I'd look around, because within 100 yards of here I'll probably find more bones from the animal. Maybe skin if it's not rotted away. You ever go out wandering in the woods and then come across something you go, now how the heck did that get there? That, I believe, remains of a leg from a deer hanging up in a tree. Well, there's a resource that I can scavenge later on. The bone can be made into arrow points, could be made into a small blade. Yep, resources. I hope it's catching the sound of those geese. Sounds like they're having a good fight. Now I've heard of geocaching. I've never done it myself, but I think I have found one of the things for it. Huh, cool. And I didn't even need a GPS to find it. Another great product of the birch tree is the horsehoof fungus, also called amadou, also called false tinder. When it becomes a little more mature, I like to harvest the stuff. It makes pretty good tinder. When it's dried out, it catches a spark and creates a great ember. Here's some older horsehoof fungus. This is probably about 2 or 3 years old. As it gets older, it gets darker gray like that. That's about the time I like to harvest it and use it for creating embers from sparks. Well, I've been wandering around for 3 hours. Definitely time for me to get new boots. This foot's all soft and squishy inside. But it is beautiful. And we're only on March, what are we on, March 12th? Wood ticks are going to be bad this year. Mosquitoes are going to be bad this year. Look out. And here we've got acorns. Another possible resource for food. Of course, you have to make sure that you take out as much of the tannic acid as you can. Too much tannic acid will damage your kidneys. It's not that hard to take it out. Acorn, the magical fruit. I love the size of the acorns that you get from the white oak tree. Red oak are smaller, and I think they also contain a lot more tannic acid than the white oak. So if you can, harvest the white oak, not the red. There we go. This is an acorn from a red oak. You can see how much smaller it is than the white oak. So if you're going to harvest food, go for what you'll get the biggest bang for your buck. Harvest white oak acorns. White acorns. To leach out the tannic acid, you break them open, put them in boiling water for a couple minutes, change the water, bring it to a boil, change the water, bring it to a boil. Do that 7 or 8 times, and they will be palatable. They won't taste really good because there'll still be tannic acid left, but they will taste better. They can be dried and ground into acorn flour. And here's the third type of fungus that I've been looking for. This is called birch polypore or razor strop fungus. These are kind of old, but when you catch them younger, they're supposed to be an edible fungus. Tried making tea out of them once. Tea tasted like strong mushrooms. Razor strop fungus, because when they're older like this, the outside is very, this one is really old. Too old to use. But the outside makes a very, it's almost like emery paper. Sandpaper emery board. You can use it to actually put an edge on some of your knives. Now, right there where my knife is, not the leaf, that is called reindeer moss, and it is edible. When it's dried out, it also makes a very nice fire starter. Reindeer moss. Another great find. This is a damaged spruce tree. And if you look right in here, all the way down here, this is resin that has leaked out from the damaged spot. And you can take that and it burns really well. The Native Americans would also use that with a combination of plant fiber and charcoal and create their glue that they use on their birch bark canoes. Great resource to find. Now, if you are out wandering around and we're planning on starting a fire, that's the kind of stuff that you would harvest to help make starting the fire easier. Always look for resources, things that you can pick up and use if you need. And then remember where you find them. Now, for those of you who watch the searching for Bigfoot things, right there, that's a Sasquatch sign, right there. All those trees stacked in like that, yep, that's a sign of Sasquatch. But, very nice example of birch polypore, Rhizostrop fungus. Another really nice stand of spruce. I could come in here and harvest a whole lot of spruce root without damaging any trees. If you only take a couple roots from each tree, there's not a problem. It's when you come in and strip all the roots, then the tree dies. And that's the end of the resource. Harvest, yes, but don't kill them off. Well, let's see. That makes Scout 3.5 hours. According to the map in the GPS, just under 4 miles. Beautiful day. Time to go get lunch.